Okay, hey, welcome. Extreme Mastery Pulling. Waited 20 seconds this time because last few have done a lot of pauses, jumps, and jaunts in the audio, and just want to avoid that as much as I can, but not too much I can do. It's live, right? Whole point of it is that it's live, and you'll see my actual reactions to this, and it'll be better, more verifiable proof if anything of value actually does come, which it won't, as opposed to just any other standard video, which kids that are still 3 years away from being old enough to get into preschool have the ability to fake and create edited videos that can suggest anything is happening that's not really happening. But this is live, so this stuff will happen. Just talked for about 42, 45 at most minutes, completely rambling on this particular screen with a much better description and other tags and stuff like that on an attempted live broadcast of exactly what I'm going to attempt to do here. And it went off the rails very early, and then just became a complete failure that I had to cut off and stop again. And 2 minutes in, I don't want to make that mistake again. So we're basically just going to jump right into it. So if you don't know what we're attempting to do here, I guess look at the description of the one below this that was done, over the last 45 minutes and just ended about 2 minutes ago. Well, now 4. So to start with, I'll just say what we're going to do as we're doing it, I guess, as opposed to giving you a preview. But the intention is to try to get something of value, and we're going to do all of the things that we can do with that. But on this particular screen, as far as pack, store, at least as far as hut store pack pulling, it's just this. It's just extreme Evo packs. We are going to do the 3 max per day. It's super late. I'm super tired. I'm still up and haven't really slept much last day, last week, etc. So, and I know very little about this game, this series in the last decade or a little bit more even, and other stuff as well, and honestly, real hockey too. So. If you watch the previous ones, you see that there's times where, sometimes intentionally because that was kind of funny, and then other times just totally by mistake. I made mistakes, simple mistakes of not being able to pronounce people's names correctly is, I think, understandable. But being way off in terms of expected value in the auction market for a particular card, or even which cards or other items, etc., like the Evo collectibles, are and are not available to be able to buy and sell through the auction house. Those types of things I should know. I should also know when the special cards come out and what the criteria is there and how it adjusts and yada yada yada. 4 minutes in, pulling mostly video, but we will then get into the trade-ins across the board, hopefully including the top tier Evo collectible trade-in pack. And so, yeah, I will just say, as I did in the previous ones, the last one as well as one before that, if from the cards that you can get in the Evo pack, I, like probably a lot of people, I'm hoping for John Tavares, not just because it's the current highest overall as far as a base at 85, but also because like 6 hours ago or something, he had a hat trick and now has 4 goals on the season, which isn't, it doesn't make an entire season, but it could make a week and could be a team of the week, or a primetime card, I guess, was suggested to me. Even though that would seem to be, it would make things interesting, in my opinion, if the base quote unquote 85 Evo was still available in this pack, as it's going to be for the next 12 and a half days, and that it's a guarantee that when you get that, it's actually going to start from the moment that you get it at least an 87, because it's been bumped as a special card, assuming Team of the Week and Primetime are probably the only 2 options for that can currently come out before this series is over, again in the next less than 2 weeks. So we had one join us. Don't know if you were in the last one. We're actually going to do this for real this time. If you were, though, feel free to leave a comment. I do not see people's names unless they leave comments. Say anything you want. Tell me how crappy this is. We do have the question on the bottom of who of those four is going to have the best IRL season, referring to the trade-ins on the top tier Evo packs, of which I already have Taylor Hall. So if we get to that point in this video, this live feed, I will not be selecting Taylor Hall. Almost 100% that I can predict that I will not do that, because the only reason I do that is to sell it, and not really looking to do that so early into this season. Anyways, let's get into this. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm just going to show those are the percentages, right? And it's 22 items, 16 are players, 4 guaranteed NHL, and an increased prospects of up to 2 Evo collectibles. Now, I've done at least 6, if not 9 of these already, and going to do an additional 3 right now. So I know that you're not always getting 2. I feel like my average has maybe been 1, maybe even been slightly less than 1, because I'm pretty sure I've pulled none before, and I tend to basically just get 1. And then out of, it's like, let's say there were 9, I think maybe 2, at best 3 of them actually did have 2 in there. And what happens instead, and we might see this in 2 seconds when I actually pull this, is instead, the fun thing for me in last night's broadcast was doing it, having twice out of the 3 packs. I pulled regular silver collectibles instead. And because of the color, I thought they were Evo collectibles when they first snapped up, because I let the animation run out and stuff like that. So when that happened, I only got 1 Evo collectible in those packs, and I don't know if those things are correlated and related. Anyway, again, those are the odds. That's what you can expect. I will let the animation run. I will let it go slow. But again, just reiterating, nothing is guaranteed as far as the rare or the, whatever you want to call it, the grade, the color. You do not have to get any golds at all, except for the fact that those are the percentages on things 83, 85 plus. Obviously, Evo players in the packs are also qualify as that as well, above 80, and therefore gold. However, that's it though. The fact that you're guaranteed for NHL player items, they can be any for NHL player items. They could be the lowest overalls in the game. I can't think off the top of my head if there's bronze NHL players, but there has to be, right? There's at least silvers, and we lost the guy that was here. That's cool. I tend to do that. I promise. I'm going to do it right now. Just saying, there's no guarantees. It is what it is. You get what you get. Again, last time, those are the probabilities. That's what you should expect to happen. Let's go ahead and rip these. It's going to be funny if I can't actually do it, but it's been long enough. Should be able to. Okay. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. There it is. Didn't get me as much this time with the silver collectible, especially because I was just talking about it like 60 seconds ago. So my expectation is we're going to be lucky if we're going to be able to get 1 Evo collectible out of this now that we've gotten the silver one. But who knows? Not the Subban that I want. And not the position that I would want for kind of any player, let alone a Subban. As you can see, I already have the Corey Crawford. Talking about goalies. Wow, this is really bad. I'm gonna stop for 1 second. I didn't expect to do this, but why is this so low? All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th. It's the 4th gold, 1 rare, and 3 3 gold commons, and then 3 silvers, 2 bronze, silver collectible, and 1 contract, 1 healing. It's really bad so far. I know we got more to go, but this is a terrible pack so far. And sure, gold card's great, but it's not really improving for me at this point. Didn't have that yet, so that's helpful. There we go. Evo collectible, at least something of value out of this, right? Remember back in the day, like 8 days ago, when you'd pull an 82 overall rated gold rare, and you were like, that was fun, thanks. Now you're like, man, I'm just trading that in, right? I can't even get 2K. That is really it. Wow, I'm not even gonna go back through the rest of those and show them, but that was a terrible, absolutely horrendous pack pull. At least we did get one Evo collectible, and yes, in my opinion, that was the most valuable card that came out of that pack, and we got 2 more to go, and not boding well for trying to get up to 10 to be able to do the trade-ins, but I did not check, and I did take a minute break in between the failed attempt at this broadcast and this actual broadcast, and I should have probably checked my collection to see how many of the Evo collectibles I currently have. Makes it easier, I guess, for me to know ahead of time if I've got enough to do the trade-in. But I guess you will see as I will see, because I don't know. Something good this time, huh? Like anything halfway decent? Okay, I saw that color for the contract, and honestly my first thought was, are you seriously going to give me 4 in a row 60, 61 overall bronze hut rares? It's fine. I mean, I need them for trade-ins, but come on, guys. Let's get some halfway decent cards here, huh? We don't even have... Okay, now we don't have any type of collectible, which I guess is good in the sense that when we do get them, still have a chance of having them be Evo. Remember back in hockey when Koivu was good and you liked him to have him on your team? And there's this silver collectible. I honestly thought it did trick me a little bit. I was getting ready to say, here comes an Evo collectible, and then as I saw the color, I was like, oh, I'll just wait for it to pop up and let's see if it actually is. But I was also thinking in my head with that other gold rare, it was like, I didn't personally experience this, but I guess those of you that have been playing this game did. Remember back in the day when a player such as that has a current overall 80 rating was like a 93? and then got bumped up to like 90, 99 over the course of the season. A lot of 80s. Oh, you almost let it slip. Almost let the F's out there. 2 silver collectibles. 2. That's all I want, man. That's all I want. I mean, yeah, I'm also doing this for trade-ins, but the trade-in that I really want is Evo collectible, and I'm totally screwed for tonight. That's okay. We got enough. We can come back and do this again tomorrow. But we pulled 1, and I wasn't at 10 yesterday, and I'm very, very confident I wasn't at 9. So we're not at 10 now, and the best you can get is 2 more, assuming that they're still only letting you pull 3 per day. But sure, I'll hit the button because I have the points to see if it'll let me do a 4th one, but it won't. So this is going to be our last pack. And then I will jump over to the Evo collectibles trade-in screen and do the autofill just to see how many that we have in the company. We're short of being able to do the top tier currently, to then give a little bit of inkling as to what we might be able to expect in tomorrow's session. But that'll be it. I won't expect to be able to pull another pack after this one for the Extreme Evo packs, and I'm not going to drop down and do the other ones at this time, the premium or the mini. And so instead, what we'll then get into is opening the 2 the 2 weekly free hut packs, which generally don't have very much in them unless you get super lucky, as well as jumping into all of the daily trade-ins across the board from bronze through gold common, 2 gold rare, and the 2 gold rare reroll, assuming that we have, 7 solid gold rares that we're willing to give up for 2 gold rares, because that's what it is. That's what you're doing there. Or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 5 gold commons and 2 gold rares to get 2 gold rares. Should have said that better. But yeah, we will do all that, and then I don't think there's any other trade-ins currently available for me, and I don't based on what we pulled in the first 2 packs, we don't have much else going on there, and I wouldn't expect anything else to come out of the daily hut packs, the two weekly hut packs, or the trade-in process that would then require me to do any other types of trade-ins like alumni's into legends or anything like that. Let's just go ahead and do this. Stop talking. Anything good for me this time, guys? Well, you know what? Honestly, right there, I'm happy to see, especially because it's a defenseman. Happy to see that it's a duplicate, because then I know for sure that I'm gonna have at least one to be able to trade in. I'm gonna have to check that card out at the end of this if that's the best one that we pull. With another silver collectible. You guys, you have to give me at least one more Evo collectible. I'm going to pick it. I'm going to send a strongly worded letter to a P.O. box in California. Maybe I should check the probabilities, right? But I don't know. I felt like pull 3 of these packs should get more than one. Anisimov. There you go. There's the one. So we got 2 today. And that's the value that we're getting. Even though part of you wants to kind of get thrown off a little bit by Nolan Patrick, and even for that matter, Dubinsky, but you know better. And it's like you pull a Belarus jersey. It's a dupe. But the thing is, I guess, since it's a dupe, you can go ahead and get rid of that. Had Tom Wilson, but have sold. So that's why that is not considered a dupe at this time. Not a big fan of the card. So let's see, because I said it was going to... I wanted to look at this one here. Because I haven't seen a ton of this. Okay, so it's, that would be the... the Beast Synergy. Centerman, pretty standard, completely fucking shitty on faceoffs. I mean, if the overall favorite player of most people in the game, if not Ovechkin, is Crosby, and he's terrible at faceoffs as far as his faceoff rating on his base card, then why would Eric Stahl be any different? Quite frankly, but 72 is just abysmal. For centerman, so you're not. I just know right off the bat he has no chance whatsoever currently, and therefore why would it ever happen in the future of even being my 4th line centerman, because I don't want him ever taking faceoffs. So let's look at the rest of the stats. That's not good. It's really not. I mean, for an 83, you can't really expect too much, and then you see skating at 86, and you think it's got to be at least decent speed, right? And it's actually a little bit lower than you'd want it to be for an 86. It's 85 on the 2 main speed categories, acceleration and speed. I don't know. I guess if it's 86, I would hope for like 86 out of both of them, or an 86 and even an 87 out of one of those 2. But no, shots aren't bad. So I don't know if he could find a way. Again, probably into a back line, which if you're doing hut challenges, most of the hut challenges at least, they're 2 minutes long. Your 4th line's not going to make a lot of appearances. 3rd line's not even going to see a ton of time. So if he's in there just for the synergy, then fine, great. But otherwise, probably not going to see a lot of play time. But if he does sneak in, the shot, at least in my opinion, shots basically 81 across the board, 80 on slap shot accuracy, is not the worst, and again, not terrible for control. Deking's a little bit lower than you'd want from what is really an average card. The other ones are higher and better, like you'd like them to be. Again, just as like an average. Again, nothing spectacular. Does have 82 defense and 84 defensive awareness. So sometimes, depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, that makes it seem like I'm trying to give you advice, and I'm not. I'm the noob. So I'll say for me, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish in, like, say, a hut challenge or whatever, if I want the synergy, but I don't want to necessarily have to include a player into the team for that matchup that has the potential to, on their own, just completely let down because the game is so tight, the AI is so good at the higher levels that one player being slightly out of position can make or break the difference between just, even a single shot, finding top drawer or not, and that could be the difference in the game and or the particular objective for that challenge, or objectives, assuming there's 3 of them that you're trying to accomplish for that particular game. So all I'm saying is, at first glance, it's a hut rare, which means maybe it's going to be part of the 2 that we would include for a reroll today or sometime in the future. If not, if he stays on the back end as a kind of last ditch attempt reserve, it would basically be, for me at least, in the instance where I'm looking for beast synergy, but I don't have the rationale to put him on of the 12 offensive spots. So I would put him on the blue line, put him on that third D line, just because his defense is 82, his defensive awareness is 84. Maybe not. Shot blocking 74, stick checking 81, body checking 78. So those aren't great for defensemen. But again, blue line in those challenges not going to see a lot of action. So you get the synergy. You're not putting in an overall player that's like in the 60s, and therefore is absolutely not going to have defense overall stat and defensive awareness that high, and as I said, might not be that one leak for that one shot that could make or break the difference between completing and not completing. Let's get out of here. I've done enough. I was a little bit interested. I will check later. Oh, he's 87 skate for an 80 overall. How was I having to check? I want to see if 86, 87. Just curious how fast he was. So I haven't had that card yet. So I guess we're done with this. That was terrible. It was really terrible. Okay, I did say I would test this out. Yeah, no. Okay, so they're still sticking to the 3 per day. I don't know why that would suddenly change. I also don't know. Let me know if you get to this point and see this, or if I send this to you and ask you the question, which means that you probably don't even bother to watch and you just answer the question. Am I going to have to wait 24 hours from now to open up the next 3, or is it like a daily game 24-hour reset? Because I would much rather be able to do this, say, in 19-20 hours from now, as opposed to 24. I don't really want to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow in order to do this, and I feel like I kind of have to be able to stay in line with the timers. As I said, here we go. Got the 2 gold packs. From this screen, it doesn't show you the probabilities. I guess I could click on. Well, let's do it. Let's go to store. So that is. That's right. Yep. So this is this pack here. These are the probabilities. So you're getting a 74 plus. That's what it's telling you. But I don't know. I mean, alumni's been coming out quite a bit. We're pulling 2 of them. That is 40 items, but quote unquote at least 12 6-player items. I'm sorry, at least 12 player items. So yeah, it's not the greatest odds at 3.8% of getting any alumni player, and there are, in my opinion, there are plenty of not the not the greatest alumni out there. But let's go ahead and do it. Said I was going to do it. Let's go ahead and do it. You guys have this too. You know, everyone has the ability to get these packs. They've already got them. You probably already ripped them. Well, maybe not, because you probably don't stay up late and be crazy like I am. Let's go ahead and open them up. See what we get. Anything good at all whatsoever. Okay. It's just like straight downhill, huh? You see, I've got Bread Roam ready. Bread Roam is gold burner synergy. So in my opinion, should be getting the most value on the auction market, and had decent value before and has horrendous value now, and it boggles my mind, quite frankly. I guess people just they're not into burner, they're not into Brad Rome. I don't know what it is. So yeah, this pack we basically got Braden Shen. So I mean, you're probably familiar. I don't need to look at this. You know, as you can see, you know, right up there, basically as fast, slightly faster than some that we saw, slightly slower. Yeah, I pulled him yesterday, the day before, and he's part of my trade-ins. Sorry, hold on, cancel, because he's a hut rare. So yeah, I think he was today's two gold rare rerolls today for me, and I think we got something better out of it. I don't know. I don't remember. How about just nothing but Jeff Carter? Cool. Just nothing but contracts. Let's just do just a straight contracts pack, even though they sell those. So we did not have this before. That's cool. Golden Knights. Strong introduction to the actual NHL. Okay, I wasn't actually serious about wanting nothing but contract cards. I was being facetious, but I should have learned, because I said before in yesterday that I wanted Ovi, Crosby, and the Evo Tavares, and I did at least get the Crosby. Okay, so there you see, yeah, you can see on the screen Tavares, Cordier. I gotta get closer to see. I could just go into the auction house or the collection to see, but I just want to go through it. Tyson Berry, Clayton Keller, and Hunan, right? Charles Hunan, yep. So yeah, five that you can get in packs, none of which we've gotten. So yeah, I don't have any of those cards. Pardon me, but they are available to be bought on the auction house. I could just click right here in the auction house and show you, but I'm not going to. We're already 30 minutes in. That is not what we are doing here today. Okay, so I did say we were going to start with this, so we will see. But yeah, I just know I don't have time, so I'm not gonna do this today. Oh my God, really? We're so close. We're so close, just in the sense that we got like none. I'm trying to remember now. I know we got 2. Did we even get 3? So we were either at best we were at 5, or I think more likely we were at 6. We pulled 3, which they suggest gives you a chance at, or greater chances, I guess, of getting 6 total or more from those 3. So if that were true, and you actually did, if I had gotten 6, I know for a fact that a minimum we had 5 to start with, and I I think it was probably 6 and we pulled 2. So we would have had the 10, and then I would have been able to do this. And because I can't fill, I don't think, yeah, so I can't get in and show you like the whatever. But that means I have enough for this one, so I could do any of those players and just I don't know. I mean, Eichel or Rantanen, in my opinion, could be cool. The rest aren't bad. You know, Nugent Hopkins is always a favorite, and the rest again aren't bad. Kovalchuk, there aren't terrible choices. But again, what I was saying in the previous attempt at doing this video, like if this were the end of this right now, if this was over and didn't have 3 more to pull in 24 hours from now, which, geez, I mean, pulling another 3, I absolutely should get at least another 2, right? So tomorrow I will be able to pick from this set of McKinnon, Hall, Subban, Panarin, Pastrnak, and Kuznetsov. And in yesterday's session, I actually did pull the base Pastrnak. So if I had the Evo Pastrnak and wanted to keep him long term, I guess that would be more of an incentive for me to see if I can get any value from selling Pastrnak. Because the thing for me, at least, is when I pulled that card, again, I could have been from the Evo sets, but I think it was more likely from trade-ins sets. I was excited to see it. Hadn't had it before, and just as it popped up, made the assumption that he was immediately going to make it onto my team, because I don't really have that great of a team, and in my opinion, he's a good player. And first glance at the card, it wasn't a bad card. It was a decent card. But then actually getting into the team and looking at it, he honestly didn't actually make the team. I mean, he didn't make the 12 forwards. You know, wasn't even able to get onto third or fourth line as a winger. But just because I wanted to see some gameplay with his card, partially because this Evo is available, and then I would imagine that you know, part of the reason why you would want the Evo is because of what I'm about to say here, which is that I have to imagine that other Pastrnak cards are going to be released by EA, whether they're Team of the Weeks, Prime Times. I don't know if they're going to do like a flashback or whatever. I honestly don't know, but I have to imagine currently you've got the base and you got the Evo. I think there's going to be more than that, and that's kind of part of why you should choose him for an Evo if you have that expectation that higher one's going to come out. So partially for that, and because I'm pretty sure he was one of the 4 when I had to make the choice, and that video is available for me on the channel, but I think that's the one that they got banned in most countries because I had the game music, not the one that's playing now, which is the theme, but the actual soundtrack playing, and the copyright holders, Spiderbots got that banned, and it's not worth going through the process of trying to get that reviewed, reversed, etc. So I think, if I'm remembering correctly, yeah, and I said this I think at the beginning of this, I did not have Subban or Panarin, so that means I would have had the other ones, Pastrnak, Kuznetsov, McKinnon, Hall, and I chose Hall. I'm still, and he's been on my team now. That means for 2 days, and really happy with him as an addition to the team. Again, he's not first line, but he's there, and he makes it into even the shorter challenge games. And I'm liking having him on the team, and it's an Evo card. So I mean, it's likely that given enough time, it's going to go up at least a little bit. Going to get at least a +2 bonus at some point, and I'm already happy with it as a base card. The Evo one, that is. But I wanted Subban, and would have had Panarin as a potential intriguing choice for me out of this set. and then I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna move on. But I mentioned the guys that I would potentially want to pick, from here, and I don't know. I think just, I mean, as I said, I like Eichel and Rantanen, and I think Nugent Hopkins is an obvious pick here as well. But for me at least, I'd be looking more Dahlin and Middlestat, and honestly, maybe even coming back for Darnell Nurse, or even Nolan Patrick. Even though, as you saw, I just got his base card. I'd rather have his Evo card than his base card for what should be obvious reasons. But we can't do the top tier on that today. 36 minutes in. Let's get into regular trade-ins. I imagine you might be like me and doing this quite a bit yourself. So you can see how I do this, which is a little bit different than others, I suppose, just because I do actually care a little bit about synergies. So like I know I'm not actually going to trade in the Vaisberg, so I can get rid of that right off the bat. And I normally, like, you're able to, on the PlayStation version, you're able to click the R3 button, and you can immediately get right into these guys. I think this is the duplicate. I don't know why it's not indicating that. So that's fine. I'll drop this anyways, even though, at least for me, I'm not huge into net presence currently, and I'm not really that into Breakout Master either. So I could potentially see parting with this card as well, just because there's potentially other cards in its stead where I would have the full 3 synergies that I'd be looking for, especially from a more passive standpoint, such as these, with Bruiser and Burner, that don't just that affect the entire team and not just them as a player, because he is a winger. So I mean, if you wanted to put him even on your 4th line as a winger, and he had, say, Call the Shot, which is a synergy that I do like to employ, or even Speedster or Face-Off Master, and stuff like that. Those only impact the players that actually have them, and so for me, the player synergies as opposed to the team synergies, again, people that don't care about synergies and it's like they understand that you're at best getting a +2 or a +3, again, either for your team or for just those individual players, and they feel like it's not worth it. I get it. I do. I get it, man. I haven't been fully converted to your thinking yet, and I'm not trying to convert you to mine. But what I would say is that the major difference here is that if he was a winger that I was actually trying to put even on the 4th line and not expecting to see a lot of ice time, especially in shorter games, if it was Call Shot or Speedster, then, and he did get into the game, then basically I'm just hoping that I'd be able to use a little bit of speed to get him. He's probably not going to be able to get to complete a breakaway because his speed is only going to be boosted up to 79. And as you just saw from cards that I'm not even interested in, they had considerably higher speed. And then you're playing an AI that's OP, so they're going to catch you. And Call the Shot, in my opinion, would be even worse because, just look at his shot. Granted, he doesn't have either one of those, so you might be thinking, well, it's really stupid for you to be bringing this out about this card. But if he did have Call the Shot and these were his shot numbers, which aren't that out of line for a 60 overall bronze, so you're going to add +2 to those? Great. So now he's 55 and 74 accuracy and power as opposed to 53 and 72. BFD. Nobody cares. It'd be a complete waste. So in my opinion, you would not really want him to be one of 4 Call the Shots for the purposes of him actually shooting. It would really just be a backfill that's quote unquote on the team as the fourth person, simply so that the other three, who are your real players and part of your actual true main squad, do have that synergy activated, and then their actual good shooting statistics, like in the 90s, do get that plus 2 boost and can make a little bit of a difference in those tough matchups. So there's the face-off master from a center whose face-offs are 555. I mean, I earlier in this showing sorry, just got a little sick there. Showing the 82 overall gold rare centerman with, in my opinion, shitty face-off rating was what, like, it wasn't even in the 80s. Was it 76 or 79? I forget now, honestly. But so obviously 55 is considerably worse. And so again, if you're trying to actually win the game, why would he ever make even the fourth line as a centerman? Why would you ever want this guy? Sorry, Noah. I know you're a real person in real life, but in the game, man, like, what, even for yourself, other than wanting to play as yourself, why would you ever want to be taking face-offs? You're going to lose. Whether playing the majority of players that you're going to play online, which I don't do a ton of, or playing this OP AI as well. So yeah, again, that face-off master, you'd really just want that in there to potentially boost those that are actually going to take face-offs. And so then again, in my opinion, you could maybe, absolutely don't even put him on the fourth line centerman position or any other center positions on the special teams of penalty kill and power play, or overtime or whatever. You want to ensure that he's basically never taking face-offs, which he still can if you especially if you make him a forward, and you find yourself in like, I don't know, you find yourself in a massive, probably more than one at a time penalty kill situation in OT. He could end up taking a face-off. So it's less likely for that to happen if you go ahead and toss him on the blue line. And so then that would maybe have some value in doing that. Anyways, let's move the. So yeah, I just have no interest whatsoever in this. I just don't need bronze goalies. I just don't. People are fans of For the Boys. They also like the beauty. I don't, and It's a Trap is my least favorite right now. So I'm happy to get rid of this card. And that is the duplicate, and then we need another one. But hold on, let's just go back in here real quick and see. Talked too much. I talked myself out of remembering. Do I want to just drop that as well? Yeah. That one though, I think we might not. It's getting way too long. We only got 29 of these left because we've been doing a lot of trading. See Bruiser and Burner, even though it also comes with It's a Trap. I would prefer that much more, and the fact that this one comes with the beauty instead makes it much more likely for me to get rid of. Yeah, and then we got another one with Bruiser and Burner, and one's the beauty and one's Trap. So that would have to be a decision that I have to make if I needed to go with picking one of those other two. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have to do that or not. I'm going to go ahead and get into... Why does it do that? It's so annoying. It's not... Again, it's way too late for me to be doing this. I should be doing this only on things that are automatic. Which one was I on the fence about? It was this one, yeah, right? Because of the breakout master. Okay, so we'll go ahead and so stupid. Like you should be able to just select the same way you do when you're doing your lineups to be able to do replace or whatever. Yes, you know, I'm into all three of those synergies, so we're not going with that. That was easy. Yeah, just gonna get rid of this one. Okay, so sorry that took so long, and hopefully I can be a little bit quicker on the rest of these sets. But so we got a silver common, yippee, we got one, right? But you do it enough, build them up, and this is just me preference, because I find that when I'm doing this so often that a lot of times I'm leaving players in the collection that I have some of an interest in, and so therefore it just makes much more sense for me to kind of go down the line and continue to go ahead and add the players that I just pulled from the previous one. We got no dupes in this one, because it's much more likely that they would be one of the 5 that would make it. Now that did not happen from an autofill perspective. Keep pressing R3 as if that's actually going to do anything for me. Okay. Man, this sucks. I should probably get rid of all of these, but I'm going to do my best to try to find 4 here real quick. If I don't, honestly, I might just cut this off. Then I can always restart another live one in a couple minutes or so. Let's just see. I don't even remember. Did I just pull that in the previous? That's not the card I pulled, right? I don't know. Maybe that came from the Evo packs. Yeah, okay. And Bowman was the other one, right? Okay. Just dragging. So this is not a good idea. I don't think I'm going to do this again in the future, as far as part of the live broadcast. So this will probably be the only time. And I lost my place. I don't even remember where I was. I know I saw Esposito. Did I see 4 or 2? Because I'm just, I don't know. I'm a little bit too much, a little bit too predictable on that. So I, sorry, now I got thrown off because other stuff going on here. Is that where I just was? No, that was one. Yeah, I'm just a little bit too particular, and I shouldn't be. Like, these are cards that are never going to make it onto my main squad, so who cares? Just get rid of them, right? I mean, they got no resale value. Just do it the way that I'm kind of doing it here with the trade-in and get better value cards for them. But I don't know. I just feel the need to be very specific and particular about this. And so yeah. So it's a bit of a delay, kind of annoying. So sorry about that. But at least I know, for future reference, don't do this live again in the future. But can do it in terms of an edited video where I'm only showing kind of the outcome as opposed to the convoluted, weird thought process that I go through to get to these points. This is so long. We're 50 minutes in, and nothing of value yet. I mean, not that I was expecting like and no dupes, man. Jeez, not that I was expecting any real value on the first 3 trade-in sets, but I mean, we got nothing out of basically anything that we've done up to this point. All right. Oh, this is gonna be a lot easier. I'm cool with basically all that, except for one. All right, gold common, first potential decent card out of this part of the process, which is really just either looking for, you know, value or trade-in, and what's value? What could you possibly get out of a gold common that you would like seriously want? I mean, that's a 77 overall. Gold commons go up to 79, and it's a trade-in. And I ain't mad at you. It's pretty much what it's kind of the point of this, what you're looking to do. There's that dupe that we pulled up in today's Evo packs, so that's helpful. And a lot of those actually, Ben Smith for sure, also came from the Evo packs today. So when you're trying to do this part of the process, I mean that's part of what comes from there. So you got a passing defenseman. Oh, I'll look at that in a second. I got a burner defenseman. Center with face-off master who you don't want taking face-offs. So it isn't really that fast. So I think we're going to be okay getting rid of that. And then another center with also terrible face-offs who's got call the shot, and you don't want shooting and isn't really fast enough. And the other one is a dupe. So we're okay with those two. Just because their defense, it's like, I don't know, gonna need that ever? Their defense isn't that good though. The passing's not even that. The passing's 73. I feel like I should just drop this. Not that fast. Can't shoot. He's a defenseman, but defense stats not. He's not. No, he's not. You don't want him as defense. So really, you would just be doing that for the synergy, and especially because I'm doing this live, and then it's gonna be left out there to broadcast, to rebroadcast for 24 hours. Screw it. Let's make it easy. Just go ahead and complete it. Here we go. First potential actual good card, because we know we're getting a gold rare, and yes, we did get some gold rares from the Evo packs, but I don't know, at least for me, a couple days ago doing this and pulling out of this exact scenario 5 gold commons for a gold rare, got the primetime crystal tang. So I mean, if I get it again now, that's pretty sweet. It means I get some coins, get to sell that bad boy. Would absolutely love anything like that, or nothing like that. Something on the low end, 80, 81 at best. Synergies I don't want, so I dump it right into the next one that we're going to do of the 2 gold rare rerolls for a better gold rare. The middle is where I get myself a little sticky at the moment, because I go back and forth to whether I want it or not. Anyways, we're 55 minutes in. Let's try to keep this under an hour. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Open it up. Okay, good. No whammies. All right, an untradeable Jamie Benn. Thought I already had this card. Maybe I already traded it. Maybe I put him as part of part of the trade-ins, which I don't think that I would do. He is fast enough. I mean, for a call a shot, shots aren't the greatest, but they do get that the +2 boost. So 84, 85, not the worst for for a backline guy. Sorry, my apologies to Jamie Benn. I mean, I'm not suggesting you're a backline guy in real life. I'm just talking about in this game. Yeah, so I would that's kind of going to put me into an 84 is higher end for gold rares. So I'm not super psyched to have him in the collection at the moment. Like in terms of he's definitely going to be on the team, because he's not necessarily going to be. Now I wonder. Let me try something. Okay, so I would like to know if I have any other. So EA, if you end up watching this, even though no one else is, what would I do if you did autofill? Who'd you put in there? You keep wanting me to get rid of that middle stat, do you? That is not going to happen, sir. Yeah, EA, I would prefer to be able to quick glance be able the duplicates that we have, assuming that there are any other than the alumni. Okay, so you would show it on this screen then, I guess, because Corey Crawford is showing as duplicate with just the one card. Oh, I guess I'm giving away all my cards now, guys. Everyone knows. Everyone knows what I got. Yeah, so I guess we had sold the Braden Shens. That's why he was not a duplicate. Okay, and the Jamie Benn is not a duplicate either. Did include and just so you know, I wasn't like lying. There's the Primetime Crystal Tang and the Evo Taylor Hall. Oh, and the Crosby. I did actually include Claude, the Claudster Drew, in this scenario in the gold rare rerolls yesterday, earlier today, whatever. Just cause I had two of them, I looked at what they were selling for, and they weren't great. Now I would kind of prefer to be dropping a card that is non-tradable if a similar card was available for a trade-in, but I don't want to see Tom Wilson anymore in my collection. So I'm so sick of trying to get any value out of him in the market, because it wasn't there before they tanked the market, and it's not there now. 59 minutes. Are we going to be able to keep this under an hour? That's if I do this quickly. How about something good? Give me something good. No whammies, no whammies. Open now. Yeah, huge card. Woo, let's go. No. Duplicate, non-tradable. Alumni. Canny defenseman. Wow. So on the off chance that I will cut this off on the rebroadcast before I get to this point, what an absolute fucking letdown. So if I can remember, it's been an hour of nonsense for me. If I can remember the value that we got from that entire process, it was 2 Evo collectibles. That's it. 20% of trade-in value for an 80 to 85 overall base rated choice of 6 which for me is really full 5 at this time, but might just go with the haul because you know you can sell it right now for something halfway decent. Tomorrow, that is happening tomorrow. However, today we got out of that whole thing, which let's reiterate, if you're paying for these, that was basically $45 or 50 if you want to consider it that, those 3 packs in US dollars. Sorry, I have to keep reminding myself that there's lots of Canadians that play this game, and their currency is also $1. As are others. There could be Aussies watching this as well. But yeah. So I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head. Memory is terrible, but I don't remember getting all that amped really about any polls. I mean, I know there were some gold rares that we did not drop into the reroll, and I could literally click on this button right here and go into collection and see what those are, to remind myself. But I mean, like, I know the Anisimov was one of them. I know that there were others. There are others too. Yeah, I didn't have to make that decision of dropping those from the collection right now. And one of the things here, actually, you know what? I will go ahead and do this. Hold on one second. I don't think this is gonna. This will work. This will work for the old check. And then I don't think that it's going to work for the Kenny, just because it's non-tradable. But I don't know. So that's how you can quickly get to I guess there have to be more than 35 of these available right now, right? So here are 35 base alumni 80 old checks. That's kind of what I would expect on this first one right now. That's kind of like max value. I mean, as you can see, just even from a buy now price perspective, other ones are lower. And this guy is, you got 2 hours. You're not getting your 7K. You're just not. Hate to break it to you. And that's absurd. That's not getting filled unless by accident. If you want to get somebody by accident, maybe go for a higher price, like 18 to 20K. Also not happening. Yeah, so I mean, it seems like overall people are asking for 5K or thereabouts, maybe a bit higher, 6K. I'd say for those people that are maybe looking to get these actually filled. I mean, when you choose like this, is it the same guy? It is, yeah. All 3 of those, all 4 of them. Wait, how many? So how many did you do? Did you do it? Was over here too? Nope. Okay, so 4 in a row. I mean, it seems silly to me, especially since the only difference is how many. Oops, sorry, clicked one too many. How many games they got left in their contract before you got to use a consumable if you want to keep them on the team. It's about the only difference, really, honestly. Otherwise, they are exactly the same card, and no offense to Wings, but you're looking to what here? You're looking to sell these? So I mean, are you going to get somebody who's going to go ahead and give you 6K for all 4? Are you really looking for 24K minus auction tax out of those 4 cards to come to you in the next day and 7 hours? I don't know. So now, actually, just because I don't want whoever wings. Oh, no, I messed this all the way. I gotta go all the way to the beginning now. The way they got this weirdly set up. Let's just see if, assuming that individual only uses one account, like I do. See if they're listing any of the others. Not. So yeah, you got 3 in a row, 4. I'm sorry, 4 in a row. All at the exact same time. Oh, and you see, like, there are other times in here, right? And yeah, the whole thing has switched around, and now it's not quite as easy to do the things that people complain about, like right here, like into the 1 hour mark. In other screens other than this, where you're able to go off of that exact card to try to snipe mostly. But then again, like, how are you sniping a card that doesn't have a buy now price with an hour to go? This time of the night, maybe, sure, but then you got to pay $5K for the old check. No offense, Eddie. Well, why would you do that? Because you could just buy it right now for $45.50. Is that the lowest? Now here's another issue that I personally have with the adjustments that have been made. If I click over here and I click search filters, from this screen, which has nothing selected as filters, but is coming from the screen that only has Eddie Olczyk on it, I should be able to say from right here, without making any other changes, I should be able to go into buy now range, and we know that there's one at $45.50, and so I should be able to say, show me all of the Eddie Olczyks. I know there's only 36 of them, whatever, so I can figure it out myself, but I should be able to do this, and then hit the search, have it pop up? No. Instead, that's what you get. So instead, you'd have to basically go over here from the screen that you were just on and take a quick look over. So hold on, don't double back out of this. You go from this screen, you click, and then click search auction house. So that pulls up the options. Assuming that you either don't feel like going through 37 of them, or you have something that actually has more available, now you got to go through here and select all of this stuff. So you got to, you know, as much as you're going to be able to break down to just his card, which it's like, I don't know, man, like, how come, I don't know, I shouldn't put this out there. I was going to say, like, why wouldn't search by name be a thing? Because then you could type it in, even though most people are probably going to misspell that. And then you go right to all of his cards, plural, because he's part of the Alumni 2 Legends upgrade, which is kind of why I have him and have him as a duplicate, because I would like to have that card at some point. Anyway, so instead now you got to go over to here and select his things, and of course from the screen you can't even see, you know, what his synergies are, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, he's I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna guess, but I'm just gonna look up a little bit. So he's a two-way forward. I know I said I was gonna end this 10 minutes ago, and then I wasn't gonna go in and do a lot of weird, crazy stuff. Now I don't want to mess this part of it up either, because it's Jets alumni, but it's weird in terms of which team you have to select for them. If I remember correctly, I know I messed it up when I tried to do it before. And then, yeah, it's US. That actually does break it down a little bit further. And then that is it. So we totally have to know. I don't want to click search, because that's going to give me way more cards than we need. All right, and that's not enough. I am going to have to pick the team. But that's where I'm messing this up, because I don't think, right, he's not, I need to not have this be part of the live broadcast, because I'm showing my ignorance here. I don't think that he's part of the Winnipeg Jets selection. So I don't know what it means, man. Like, even though it says Jets alumni, I don't know if they're like including it in like an AHL. Yeah, that's no. See, which then means I don't think I could. So I was gonna almost do like just NHL and then any, and then I don't think we can do that. I don't know. I I don't know. I'm a homer, like a true homer. I don't know the other teams, so I don't like. But they wouldn't do that, right? I mean, he's not an AHL player. Was it when did he? I'm such an idiot. Why am I clicking this? Like, I know that that's not the thing. I'm getting lost in my own head here. Yeah, he's not. So stupid. So stupid. Making myself look so stupid here. Oh, okay, it's already on. Oh, is this? Okay. There we go. Dummy. Alright, well, hey, you got a chance to watch for 4 minutes while I finally figured that out. And actually, I think I've seen people do this too in the thing. Okay, so now from here, finally, we'll go back over to search filters. Now we've got the 37 selected. And we probably don't need all that, honestly. I don't know. I mean, we don't even have the synergies selected, but I'm gonna take a I'm gonna take a flyer here because I can easily switch this right back to USA. Is he the only center two-way forward Winnipeg Jets alumni gold rare? It's the only thing that we got selected, right? He is. All right. You gotta make it fun for yourself, right? So now from here we can do what I was saying I wanted to do before. Let's make it a little bit higher, if I remember the prices, so that we at least have two that pop up as opposed to just the one. So that's interesting because I guess I did not notice the 4,000 the first time through. So this then gets you to a little bit quicker to be able to see, only 5. If you only want one of them, it should be pretty obvious, right? I mean, if you're willing to pay any of these 5 prices, why would you overpay? Unless you have a problem with the seller HC Stola. But yeah, so I mean, just buy that one for 4K, right? And these prices have fluctuated. I kind of wanted to say that they've just been going straight down, and they're down. You could have, you definitely could have gotten, I don't know, off the top of my head, I think this was maxed at like 15K, probably at the very beginning. And it's also been lower. We just went through the 37 that are currently out there. Maybe it's getting into the next day, and so now it's not considered overnight anymore. But in the off hours particularly, and you would think like Sunday night into Monday morning would definitely be considered an off hour, except that people know that there's tons of new stuff in the game on Mondays. In general, for some people just the 2 free hut packs, which is basically what it was for me. But yeah, anyway, you would think that that would be kind of off hours, and you'd be able to snipe some of these for lower. But just to reiterate, if you wanted to go off of the price, if you want to go off of the price as opposed to the buy it now price, there are 10 of them. And if you're like, well, I can't be bothered to look through 10. Guess you got to keep going lower then. Maybe you should have looked through the 10 to see which one. Wow. All right, 5 less than 42.50, but it's a little janky, right? It's not like the 3,500 is not a buy now price at 35.50s, and because we would have seen that in the other screen. So, in my opinion, yeah, okay, cool, it's 2,500, that's the lowest, right? But that's not sniping. you're gonna wait almost a full 16 hours on this. You're gonna get rid of 2,500 coins right now, although you do have the option to bid higher, which I guess would make you have a chance of actually getting the card a little bit higher, a little higher chance of getting the card, I should say, if you bid more than 2,500 for it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like I don't know. Like maybe if I was like going to bed right now, which I absolutely should be doing, and so maybe I will. Why would you get rid of 2,500 coins and then have to wait 16 hours and probably honestly have to wait 15 hours just to even have anybody else come in with another price? And that is assuming that somebody even wants the card. Let's go in and look again real quick because I don't even remember. At the 37 that are in there, do any of them have a current bid? I don't recall any of them having that. Now, obviously, it makes common sense, I would think, that it's tough to have a current bid on a card like, on a offer like this, where it's how people have been doing this, I guess, for years, and it was new to me because all this is new to me, but I figured it out pretty quickly. You set your price, and then you can't set the buy now as exactly the same as the start price, which I'm fine with, no big deal. I have tried a couple times to be kind of cute, and like on this particular card, like offer 4,700, especially as it's getting close to, like, not with 6 hours and 37 minutes left to go, but on, like, let's go over to, so that one right there, if it was 49.50 with a buy now price of 5,000, and that was like either the lowest or it was something I was willing to part with and be able to get. No, that's not true. If it was 3,500 with a buy now price of 35.50, first of all, I'd probably be willing to pay 3,500 for the card, even though I have more than one, you saw. So I absolutely don't need it, and you can see currently in the market there's not much of resale value as far as flipping it for that price, in my opinion. Because, like, whatever, nobody's on this right now. Nobody's making bids, which usually you'll have a bid by the time you get down to the 10-minute mark, and then the sniping seems to happen in the last minute or two, whether it's had a bid yet or not. I'm not gonna let this go on this screen for 7.5 minutes to show this. Even for the purposes of being able to come in and edit this later and be able to kind of cut this section out and essentially fast forward to when this ends. But spoiler alert, this is going to end as not being sold. It's not going to get an offer of 3,500, which is sort of strange, honestly. And if it was probably any other card that I either, would potentially need more, at least for the upgrades and the trading into Legend, or felt like it was worth the potential flip, gets me back to the point that I was trying to make before when I was going through all of them, which is that none of these cards, none of the 37 cards, what did I just do? What's going on? Okay. Have a current bid. I feel like I'm messing up the order here, but and then I got thrown off when the numbers are weird. Yeah, so none of them have a current bid, and as I said, like, for that would make sense. Why would you put in a bid at 4,500 if you could just buy it right now for an extra 50 coins? That's pure, penny pinching, tomfoolery. There's other words, not necessarily swear words, but stuff that people wouldn't like if they heard it. It's just, it's not, yeah, it's silly. But I've done it. I've done it. Usually, if it's a card that does actually have people bidding on, and I don't even know what those would be currently in the market because nobody wants any cards in the market right now. But let's say, like, I don't know. I was gonna say go with the standards. Crosby, Ovi, McDavid, on down the line. But even those, and I could show you because whatever. The market's not really vibrant for those either. Like, what is vibrant? Okay, well, first off, let's just see if we can do this. I guess we can. But it's weird though, because it's like, why would you be concerned with how much that you could potentially get from the card when you, in fact, can't trade it, right? You know what I mean? Like, because if you're going to potentially re-roll it, then and it is tradable, then this is what I would recommend you doing. I keep saying you, like I'm giving you advice. This is what I do, and I think it's a decent thing. Even though you didn't see me do it on any of the trade-ins that I did, just because the stuff that I traded in, except for, I guess the 2 gold rare rerolls, I know their market prices. Those 2, I've had those cards. One was a duplicate Crawford. The other is Tom Wilson, who I've had. And again, nothing against those 2 players. They're perfectly fine players in the actual league. But in the game, the cards themselves have almost no value. So being a duplicate, the Crawford was easy for me. And then Wilson, just knowing I can't get any value out of him in the market, was also pretty easy. And so I didn't bother to go to this screen and see what the market currently was for that card. But that's what I would normally do, potentially even for the gold commons. I can think of one off the top of my head, and if you listen to the 90 minutes of this, you would probably be able to guess which card that would be, that I have had more than one of, that I know I still have at least one of, and I don't know if I have duplicates right now, honestly, off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I do. And that particular gold common, and potentially others as well, I could see rationale for wanting to go into the market to see what you can get from them. But honestly, even that, I should just say what the card is, because even that one card that I'm thinking of, that was basically when I started this whole process and actually needed the card, like the cards of that have market value, to stay on my team so that I wouldn't get destroyed even by the computer, the AI, on basic levels. Like, I mean, at this point, like, rookie's fine, but like even semi-pro, I can lose a semi-pro game even with my current team. So I mean, I just, like, I need those players on my team, and so especially in the beginning, those players were more needed for me than they were for the market. And if my experience this year, this is probably where I think I should end all this, is if my experience this year is any indication as to what to expect in future years, even though I think a lot of current players, and I guess I'll now include myself in that, are hoping for changes to occur to this version of this game, NHL 19, during the course of this year of this game coming out, prior to next year's version coming out. And honestly, like I said, I was kind of joking, but they're going to have to make, they being mostly EA in this case, are going to have to make those changes sooner rather than later, or they're going to continue to lose people. I mean, people have basically already quit, phoned it in, have decided to go ahead and basically dump their cards onto the market, and that was happening before these new cards came out. And now that the new cards came out, they brought these down even more. I mean, like this card here, I don't really remember because I wasn't really looking for it. But I have to imagine that. I mean, first of all, again, you know, those are the 18. Yeah, absolutely none of them. Now, a lot of them have pretty tight. No, okay, so that doesn't. So that's a bad example. But a lot of them have pretty tight, or maybe they don't. I was gonna say a lot of them have pretty tight ranges. There you go. There's 3 in a row. That ball from the. Jeez, why does it do that so quickly? Boston Boys looking to sell 3 at the exact same price. All same cards except one has a contract length of 1. All at the same time. I don't know. Seems weird to me. But I guess if you're doing this like me, you'd be able to come in here and be able to get to like that time frame and then that time frame and that time frame and be able to be like, oh, okay, there's that same price. At least you'd be able to see. At least you'd recognize the same price. Whether you recognize this, it was also the same price and the same seller, I don't know. So maybe that's not as solid of a strat as maybe you'd think. I don't know. So maybe I'm talking that down, and I shouldn't be as much. Going way too long with this. What I was trying to say was that I think that this card had more value before than it does now. But I don't know. It's just kind of a guess, and it seems like it's a pretty easy guess to make. Overall market has worked as of late. I mean, the fact that somebody within, I have the coins. If I want this right now, I can get it for 44.44. And 6 minutes. I don't think that somebody is going to get it from me. So actually, now I am a little bit intrigued. How do I go to? I know there's ways to do this on the. Okay, so that he must be on a different next screen. Okay, so okay, there we go. I was gonna say that'd be really, because he's not on my team, so that's why I was thrown off by this a little bit. Oh, but they're both non-tradable. So okay, well that makes sense. That it's totally cool for me to drop one in as a being a duplicate as a reroll. Probably end up doing that in tomorrow's session. And then yeah, so let's go back out. This is the easiest way that I know to go ahead and do this. And to see in the market, because I can't trade the other one. If I buy any of these, I can trade them, and I would. But I'm not gonna. I'm not playing him though. Sorry. This is the weird way that I think about things. I guess is that I'd rather have a tradable card sitting in my collection, and not just like from a finance econ perspective of like that makes it more liquid, meaning like there's some value to it. There's a non-zero value to it, that I'd be able to at least get something out of it, which, because there's so many other components to this game other than just straight buying and selling, it gets thrown off a little bit. You know, the fact that you can take it as part of a 2-part reroll set trade in and get a different gold rare, adds a different wrinkle, and you, as I probably do myself, you may put more value on that than you would on trying to come in here and getting any value out of the market. I mean, this just doesn't look like a lot of value in the market for me. I mean, you got another one going for 5K, ending in 8 hours though, so that's not So not really, not a current snipe opportunity. Was that 69? So I mean, you can just buy it outright for 7K right now, which would also be the buy now on this one too. But I don't know. I feel like it's not really that great of a flip. And I got 2 minutes to do this, so I am totally okay with showing more than I should. And that's not the right screen. And just seeing. I don't know where he is, man, because I was. Okay, so you can get an 88, but so that would suggest, without me clicking into this, that you're only needing gold collectibles and not any carbons. Although it says 9, I thought you needed 10. Okay, so I won't be able to see the known. Wow, okay, that makes sense, I guess. And again, EA, this is just me, I guess. This is supposed to be the search results screen for the 85 overall Kentienko. So I feel like from here you should be able to come into this part and make any adjustments that you want, no matter what they are, and have it only be those adjustments that make sense for that card, like the synergies. If he's only got one, which he's an alumni, so he's gonna have two, so that wouldn't have to necessarily be set. But he's only got one position. That's not changing. His league and team and country is not changing. His gold, he's a gold rare, so his level and his rarity is not changing. Trade eligibility would be based off of which card you have, as well as loan type. He's available as a loan as well as a standard card. So those things can be different. And so I guess I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna have these in here, just pre-populate. That's probably too much work for you, honestly. But just pre-populate the things that are distinctive to that. To what should be showing on the screen as far as results, as opposed to doing what we showed earlier on both of them, the Denyenko that did pop up, as well, which is the base one, as well as the base Olchik too. You saw me have to go through there, and you can't even see the synergies from that screen. Which you might have to know in order to whittle it down, and honestly, I think it's a little crazy to go from a search results screen to then having to go in here and selecting literally every single part of this to be able to better select it out. Now so it's been 2 minutes. So that card's gone now. It's the 83 being offered. It is not. Okay, so you can't really buy your way into to this trade-in at the moment. If you wanted the 88, so. Wait, what did wow, I'm super tired. Did I really just click on search collection? So, oh my God, did I do that? Did I do that on the other ones as well? Did I really do that? Was I trying to put on EA to be, oh geez, 50K? Dude, you are not getting that price. But at least you can see the stats. That's what I was actually trying to get at. Meh, not bad. I mean, I don't think it's 50K. It's not bad though, which tells me that I absolutely did click the wrong thing on both of these before. So, yay! I guess it's time to laugh at me for me trying to talk crap about the new system, or not. because there's no results for this. So maybe I did click the right one on this one. I don't know. So that would mean, and I'm terrible about this part. So let's go to this, and let's go to this. The people that do this on the YouTube videos that I watch, they're so great at it. Did I do collection again? What did I? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Is this not where you go? I thought it was. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so now I'm just basically annoying myself at this point, because I've seen people in screen like this. Is it in the sets? Because that's where we were. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. What am I doing wrong here? No, it's not. All I want, God. All I want to be able to see is the player card for the okay, like totally just screw this. I have to go back and watch people doing videos to see. Although I guess I don't know what buttons they're pressing, and usually they're on Xbox. They're pressing different buttons than me. But all right, so he's Devils alumni. Got that much so far, right? And yeah, we do have the cards, which is going to the collection. I am doing that on purpose this time. Hammer time and wow, I'm tired. I was gonna say breakout, and that's not right because that's BM for breakout master. It's not burner. That's how little I'm able to think currently. Okay, I can't think of what that synergy is. All right, so we're gonna do Devils alumni, LD, DFD, HT. Should narrow it down, right? But not. But that's not. Oh, it gets me back to where I was before because. The only way that I'm going to be able to see that for the player items, oh god, I just need to. This needs to be ended so long ago. The only way it's gonna be shown is if it's in the marketplace, and if the one right before Legend is not being offered, then why the hell would the last one be? Look at that. Somebody trying to get 30K for Bergeron and failing. So there you go. You get 15K for Bufflin. You could maybe consider that a bit of a snipe based on previous prices. I don't know about current though. I guess I could do. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You know, right now, 40 seconds to go. You can get Crawford for less than 4K. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it as a trade-in. But you know what? It was a dupe, so not too worried about it. You know, Koivu we picked up today. That's what somebody's trying to get out of value out of that one right now. I'm not gonna go through all these, but 85 with 100 with no cap for Rantanen. Okay, collection type. Oh crap! Would it be legend at that point? It would, wouldn't it? Let's just do that. 66, yeah. So there aren't going to be a ton of those out on the marketplace, right? Wait, how much is Olczak going for? 260 is what they want. I know that's pretty. that's funny. So when are you gonna pay that? You guys gonna pay 2.5? Where's the Solani? 10 million. Well, I'm just kind of surprised that the ad emotes has come down in terms of the ridiculousness of what people are trying to get out of that. There you go. There is the card, 300 to 350K. But this is what we really wanted. This is the screen that we wanted. So these are the 3 synergies. So I don't even remember honestly if they're the same, but they're not. They're not. I mean, he definitely could have had Beast, but did not have Defensive Warrior and Trap. I don't think. It's not my recollection. And then you just see the speed boosts, man. 96 acceleration and 95 speed. It's defenseman, and shot's not terrible. You like it in the 80 to 85 range as a base. On the off chance that you're going to need some shots, you know, depending on how you play, typically from further out by the defenseman. Defensive awareness 93. You know, the difference between the legend card and I think the alumni 2, as opposed to most of the rest of the cards in the game, is from both this screen as well as clicking back out, like from here. You just be able to from here. It's obviously it's not magnified, so you would certainly click and then come into here, and then you'd see the general ratings, including his general defense rating, which is not the same as just defense awareness. It's going to take into account. I can't even talk. Jeez, we're getting on 2 hours. This is so stupid. It's going to take into account shot blocking, stick checking, body checking for sure. And I don't know, you know, how many of the other things is going to take into account when it's, if at all, because some people are suggesting that those overall, like the, not like the overall the 88, but like the overall like defense and the overall, you know, skating, shooting, etc. That they're like baseless, that they've got no base. Some people say based off of the actual player. I mean, in this case, it's a player that's no longer playing, or even, you know, players that are currently playing. Yeah, but I don't know. But and then other people are saying, like, you look at the stats that you would expect to go into that. Like, again, just strictly talking about the overall defense rating, which like, do these players even have one? And if so, how do you even find out what it is? That's how fucking clueless I am. I have no idea. But you would think, as I said, like, defensive awareness, absolutely. How could that not factor in? But then shot blocking, stick checking, body checking seems to make sense to me. Possibly the other stuff like aggression and I don't know, like strength maybe. The fighting skill seems like that'd be more for like enforcer stuff. Durability shouldn't, in my opinion. And then like if I felt like if I was a scout and somebody had to say, like, how would you rate this player as a defender? Like, give me a defensive rating. Passing would be part of that. I don't know. Like, puck control would probably be part of that, if not hand-eye too. I guess that's just me. I don't know. But then that's, I guess that's a slippery slope. Because then you'd say, well, what about speed? You know, doesn't speed matter then for a defender? Well, yeah, but as part of how you would rate them as a as a defender rating, defensive rating. I don't know. And then shot? No, right? It shouldn't be. I mean, if they've got the geez, I'm so tired. What do they call it? Play style. This one's a defensive defender. But if he's a if he's a two-way defender, and they have offensive defender too, right? I feel like I've run it. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've seen that elsewhere. Maybe not in HUT. Maybe that's part of creating players and ones and stuff like that. I don't know, but you absolutely can be a defenseman and an enforcer. Probably defensemen who are playmakers. Sniper would seem weird, which I guess was kind of getting full circle to my point about shooting as a defender. So yeah, like in actual hockey, there's value, if not tremendous value, of at least having somewhere on your roster at least one player who is a solid, like really good shooter, but is a defenseman and actually plays defense, as opposed to say like 98% of the or more of the players in the NBA. So yeah, I would see value in, which is why I pointed it out when I was going through the ratings here of like, okay, cool, it's in the 80-84 range, and can't get any higher for this player. You can't upgrade any higher than the legend card. But then again, like, what is it, 300, 350? Yeah, I mean, wait, where'd it go? Yeah, 300, 350 in the next hour and 20 minutes. So I'm a little short coins to be able to do that if I wanted to, but I don't really, honestly. But he would, yeah, he would absolutely be starting on my team right now as a defender. And he's on the left, so yeah, he's, I don't know. He might not be front. He might not be front line. He'd be there though. He'd be front line or second line on the left, and I'd be happy to have him. But yeah, so 80 to 84, solid for defensemen. Means that in the course of the game, when you, well, not in the course of just a game, but in the course of him on your team throughout the course of games, gonna have to take a shot, and depending on how you play, he's gonna potentially have to take shots. Maybe not on a regular basis, whether he's a good shooter or not. You're just gonna find times where it makes sense for you to put the puck at the net, even with a defender who is a terrible shot, like 50s ratings and no boosts, as if the +2 would make any difference. So yeah, so way too long on the whole thing, way too long on this thing. So I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and move on. But yeah, it's I guess it is a slippery slope then, in terms of what would you factor into that defensive stat. But that's the thing, is like, especially if, you know, back when the market was more robust, which is not to say just that it was, you know, higher value, and I don't know, more price appropriate, it seemed like in the beginning. Not just that, it was also that there were oddly enough, because the thing is, if people are still playing, there are more cards. Nope, take that back. That is not necessarily true. I was going to say that there are more cards out there now than there were, say, like 5 to 8 days into the game. But not necessarily true, based off of what you just saw me do over the course of the last 2 hours. That actually took at least the actual last final button clicking in total couldn't have been more than 2 minutes of actual time taken, was just trading them in, just trying to boost them up to better cards. So in that sense, I can't be the only person that's doing that. I mean, I can't be the only person that for sure doesn't just want to have, the lone playing. Now I'm gonna mess it up, but I thought it was Joe Sakic, and I'm fairly positive that completing the objectives with whichever category Sakic falls under. Pretty sure that legend card is 93 overall, and so therefore it's probably pretty good. And I don't know if there's another way to get that other than through there. And I've taken too long already on Kenny here and many other things to bother to go through that whole process to figure that out. Oh, there's a person that just joined us. Sorry, man. We're 2 hours in. We're cutting this off, but I don't know when you came in. I just see the number 1 up there now. Feel free to make a comment so we see your name, so we see who it is that missed out on this. And if you were one of the 2 people that was here at the actual beginning when this thing was an actual broadcast, and gone. Yes, so good at getting people to leave. Yeah, I don't know. So the point was, the market was more robust. There were more cards, it seemed like, out there. There were more people active in the market, both buying and selling. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps that has changed with people maybe doing more like I am here, of determining that presently they're gonna see more, they're gonna feel that they're seeing more value from trading in almost any card, rather than trying to sell it, with the obvious exceptions being the high value cards. Those you can sell pretty much all the time. But if you're like me, you actually need the high value cards on your team to help you with at a minimum the hut challenges, or if you want to compete online, get into competitive seasons, etc. So yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at. That's why, this 2 hours was mostly about trade-ins. Like, yeah, I mean because I didn't do the description the second time through after the first failed attempt at this video. So it didn't go into the whole thing of what I was going to attempt to do. So it might have looked as though it was just the Extreme Evo pack opening. And like, let's be honest, that's really all that the value that came from this whole process was doing that, was opening those packs and getting the cards and items that came from those packs, which was next to nothing. I mean, I talked about what I considered to be the true value from those cards, and it was the 2 Evo collectibles that we got. That makes it so that I can make a choice at least 24 hours from now. Well, now probably 23 at a minimum, and hopefully sooner than that. So there's value there. Plus, I mean, you can, hey, somebody's back. You can sell those as well, the Evo collectibles. They're going for decent value on the market right now. But because everything else has tanked, that's just kind of why I'm under that mindset right now. I don't know if this is the bottom. I mean, they're going to continue to release more and more cards. Team of the Week at a minimum is going to be coming out every single week, but those don't seem to be too OP in my opinion. It's more just these Evos that seem to be throwing people off a little bit, as well as potential interest in alumni's, and if they want to introduce any more legends, but like the alumni's that they're adding are not part of the alumni to legend upgrade set process at the moment. So it's more about their base value, and in my opinion, just because they're maybe only available for a limited time, that might make them more unique, more rare, and therefore more valuable, and that would be the only reason why they would be more valuable. I think it's more these especially the Evos for sure. It's the cards that are going to be there for a while. Yep, got another person on the Evo. Awesome. It's the cards that are going to be there for a while that are going to have the true value over time, and so it's the additions of those that are basically bringing the market down, and many other factors as well, including lots of players being just very disappointed in the developers in EA and the game as it currently stands, as well as in terms of just some of the additions and or subtractions that have been made even as recently as this week, in terms of game mechanics, gameplay, etc. And so there absolutely have been people that seem to have basically just decided to phone it in, to tank the whole thing and just put all the cards that they've got out in the marketplace. Now, as the market is currently at, there high value cards especially, I wouldn't really recommend, just starting, like, just doing the automatic dump. That means that as long as at least one person makes a bid, it will be sold, which is that you set the minimum at 50 with no cap, or you set the minimum at 50 with a cap. Either one of those, as long as you get one bid, it will get sold. Speaking from personal experience, I think I did exactly that, and I've also done variations, thinking that I was being able to not necessarily time the market, but price the market a little bit better than the other offerings that were currently available for that particular card or item, because in a lot of cases I'm talking about gold collectibles, and I got royally screwed. If you only want to consider the fact that I have bought at least one gold collectible in the market in the auction house, and I have sold at least one gold collectible through the auction house, and just if we only just used a one-in-one example, and it wasn't the same one because it wasn't. I paid way more than I was able to sell it for, and it wasn't just because I bought the first one earlier in the game and I sold the other one later when the overall market came down. It wasn't so much that, because gold collectibles are still being offered, if not actually bought, at halfway decent prices. Yeah, I screwed myself. I don't even remember. I might have been dumb enough to just be like, all right, here it's 50, no cap, or it's a kind of crazy high cap, which for like a gold collectible, I mean, kind of from the start of this game until today, trying to get more than 100K for one of those has always been absurd. So honestly, probably even anything more than 75 to 80K would have been also just stupid to try to think that you were going to actually get, other than a person making a mistake or being a noob or somebody's little kid coming on and playing the game without their knowledge. So I don't know which one of those I did, and I can supposedly go back into my history in the auction market and check that out. But I'm going to get this done before we get to the 2-hour mark, so I've got less than a minute. Supposedly that info is there. I would like to see improvements with that part as well, EA, because I feel like it could be tremendously better, and there's things that should be there based off of what the category is. Like unsuccessful bids, 7 days, whatever the time frame is, should include every single unsuccessful bid that I've ever made, and then you should give me the chance to be able to basically remove things from there the way that you would like an email from an inbox. It's my personal opinion. That's the way it should work. And it doesn't, for me at least. It kind of does, but doesn't entirely. So it's problematic. And so I wouldn't know for sure exactly what I did when I messed up that at least that one poor selling of the gold collectible that I know of. But I think that I offered it like starting at 50 and then just waiting to see it go up. I didn't get under 2 hours, sorry. And I don't remember what it sold for. And it wasn't ridiculously bad, I don't think, or I think I would still be super salty about it. Like, I don't think it went for like 150 or 200 coins, basically what you get from watching the hey, somebody's here. we're cutting this off in 2 seconds, but you can stay. Feel free to leave a comment, let us know where you are. the Wednesday night hockey promo, and you're gone. You get 200 coins for that. So I mean, watching that for 2 seconds is not exactly the same as having to go through whatever process you need to go through to get a gold collectible, in my opinion. I would have to say that the gold collectible has more value in terms of time or whatever. But then you're like, dude, you just fucking talked for 2 fucking hours. You have no concept of time or the value of time. Can't necessarily argue with that one right here, which is why I'm going to cut this off now finally. And this one was stupid, so it's likely not going to last for more than 24 hours for sure. And then even the edited version that I'll hopefully be able to figure out how to do might have like 15 minutes of content. But yeah, I was up. I needed to get this done. And at least in my opinion, in this game, timers are huge, right? And so the trade-ins that I did, if I'm up in what is now probably 5.5 hours as opposed to 8, then I would absolutely do those at those time, just so that I can continue kind of progressing. That's just generally how I approach games, whether they're console or mobile. And so that's why I'm still up at, I can't really see, but way late. I can't see there. Yeah, so 6 a.m. Way too late on Monday morning. That's it. Sorry this sucks so much, and sorry that that the full 2 hours is going to be there as a rebroadcast for the next, I don't know, hopefully I'll make it less than 24 hours that I'll put it out there. But you should never get to this point. I think I'm able to go back in and adjust the descriptions and a couple other things. I used to be able to, at least actually on YouTube. So I will look to do that, so that what I'm saying right now you will never hear, unless you're just like, the cat that got killed by curiosity and wanted to fast forward to the end of this to hear what I was saying, because in the description I'm basically going to say you should really only watch the first whatever it was. I don't even remember. Was it 35 or 40 minutes? Was it even that much of it worthwhile? I'm not sure that the thing that we actually got value from, the trade-ins, because none of the player items from the Evo packs made it onto the main squad. Yeah, it's like the trade-ins was where it was basically, which was even really just mostly being able to get even more trade-ins, which I guess technically we got in the Evo packs as well. So it's just the trade-in cycle was really all the value that we got out of this, other than the 2 Evo collectibles, which we'll get an Evo card for us tomorrow. And now I'm lightheaded. So it was stupid, but I don't remember if it was like 40 minutes or whatever of value. And I use that term very, very loosely because there was no value. But whatever very limited, hopefully non-zero value there was, came very early on, and has been gone for a very long time. So I'm going to sign out now, which means I think I've been on this screen for way too long, which means that this is probably going to be automatically set by YouTube as the as the thumbnail for this. So now I will say this as I sign off. That would make it interesting for me, especially knowing that this is only going to be left there by me on the channel, that nobody subscribes to and nobody watches right now, for the next like 24 hours. It'd be kind of funny if this was the thumbnail, and suggested that it wasn't like me choosing it as the thumbnail, because based off of the name and the description, it would suggest that pulling the Evo extreme Evo packs that we managed to nab an 88 overall legend Danieko, and we did not, because you can't. It's not a thing. It's not how the game works. So it would be kind of funny to throw some people off, but didn't happen. And this was stupid to the point where if I had more time, I'd go back and listen to at least some of this and see if I should even bother to leave it up or immediately delete it. But I don't have the time, so I'll do that tomorrow. Peace out. Sorry it sucks so much.